Jeff and Jeremy. It's like a radiogasm.
I said, hey, babe, check it out on the podcast.
Apple Podcast, Google Podcast,
And Spotify.
all this is going viral.
Yeah. Who's getting ready for some heat? Bring on the heat!
Today's supposed to be the hottest day?
Now,
I think it is.
it's supposed to be tomorrow, isn't it? Is it today? It's going to be warm. Yeah. Feeling that heat. Oh, yeah, it is. Supposed to be slow. Supposed to be in the mid-80s today. No, they've changed the forecast a little bit, I see. A little bit cooler tomorrow. I thought tomorrow was the hottest day. Then it's going to drop to the mid-70s tomorrow and through the weekend, Sunday, with a chance of wind.
That's for you, not for me.
What are you doing this weekend? I'm going camping.
I'm going to be sitting up in the 80s. That's what I do.
Oh, because you're going to be North County?
Yeah, it's the weekend.
Let's see.
Why wouldn't I be?
Paso Robles, man. It's going to be 91 up there today.
90.
It'll be 93 tomorrow. So there you go. It's going to be warm.
I'm down.
80s, mid-80s over the weekend. Yeah, I'm going to be in North County this weekend doing some camping. I can't tell you where, but I'm going to be somewhere in North County doing
Why
some
can't
camping.
you tell me where?
Because I don't want people to bother me. They'll show up.
Who's going to show up or care, for that matter?
I don't know. Somebody.
I think we established that yesterday.
What do you mean?
Well, who
Ooh,
cares?
it's going to be a little cooler where I'm at. Now I'm going to be up in North County camping this weekend, doing some camping and some fishing. I'll tell you that much. Eating some.
And it's going to be cooler where you are.
A little bit cooler than Paso Robles. Yeah.
So that tells me that you are going to be not a lot of places to fish. I mean, the river's pretty dry.
Well, there's some reservoirs. There's some hidden ponds.
Where are the hidden ponds?
They're all over the place.
Do you go fishing on like people's winery properties? Like you go to like
I have never done that. I've always wanted to.
Retention ponds or whatever.
Some of them are stocked with bass.
Why do they stock them with bass?
So they can fish them.
So they're just doing it for.
They put bass in there and then they can fish them. Yeah. And I think bass, I don't know,
that kind of
eats the bugs or I don't know.
Is that
Eat
cheap?
the frogs. I don't know. I don't know if it's cheating. I mean, it's not like it's a bathtub. I mean, it's a big ass reclamation pond, and it's probably good for the ecosystem to have a fish in there.
My father-in-law has a big reservoir, a decent sized reservoir on his property.
For his property.
For his property. I mean, it's pretty. It's
What does he water?
the size of a lake. Well, the crops. I don't know. Don't.
He has
ask
crops?
Me. I'm not an ag
I've
guy.
seen pictures. I've never seen a crop there. I didn't
Call
know he had
Kyle
it.
at Cali
What
Grow,
kind of?
'cause
What
I
does he
have no
grow?
idea what you're talking about.
Do you know what he grows?
Sometimes wheat. I don't know.
Sounds like he may be a cannabis grower. I don't know. You're being
alfalfa.
very, very weird about.
No, I don't
this.
know what they. I don't know anything about crops. Okay. I don't know anything about.
But he does
ag.
grow crops.
Yeah, I'm not going to pretend I do. But there are times when guys come out there, lease his land, they grow the crops. He sometimes grows the crops. It
Okay.
just depends on the year, I guess. That's all I know about it. But one is a good sized lake, and then there's another one.
You know, he would probably like it if you showed some interest in his life and asked him about it. Just
I don't
2 cents.
know.
That's my 2 cents. Showing interest in other
There's
people.
another
They like-
pond down the way, and it's about a tenth of the size.
Yeah.
Both have fish. Guess when we fish?
The one that's probably easiest to get to.
The one that's a tenth of the size.
Yeah.
because
It's smaller.
You literally drop your line in, fish comes up, bites it, pull it out, throw it back in. I mean, these fish must love getting caught on a regular basis.
So
it's boring.
my dad used to take me to these stocked ponds when I was a kid, and we would pay when we went in, and then we would pay per fish when we left. Actually, I don't think we paid till the end, but you paid to fish there, and then every
I remember
fish
a
you
place
caught.
like that.
And it was, I can't remember what it was called, but it was in this little town called Wilkerson. Do you remember Wilkerson? It was outside of Wording. Doesn't matter. You probably don't.
Nope.
But it was
Wilkerson outside of Wording.
yeah, it was kind of in the foothills of Mount Rainier, but
I didn't even know it existed.
yeah, you probably never. Yeah, that was Pierce County. You weren't there, but I never understood it. I went there the first time and I thought, oh, this is great. And every time I threw my little hook in there with an egg on it or a worm, I'd get a trout. And they had some really big trout in there.
No.
But then I looked at my dad, and we had all these trout there, and this wasn't really fun. I mean, maybe that's when I realized that I'm a true fisherman. I mean, I like to hunt. I like to be able to fish, not just catch. This was catching, not fishing. As soon as you put your line in the water, within seconds, tug, tug, tug. And so, and of course, they were raising these fish, and they had them in different stages. And then when they got big, they put them in the pond. And
it's kind of like
it was a pond.
There's a conversation I was having with Matt Cross, who is the entertainer of the year
still.
And I was like, if you're entertainer of the year, you're not going to be entertainer of the year forever. Why aren't you booking gigs every single weekend? He goes, well, that's a sure way to make sure that I'm not entertainer of the year.
Is to book more gigs?
Is to book more gigs. Because if you oversaturate the market with yourself, then people will be like, I've seen him before. Seen him last weekend. Saw him the week before. So he's got a rule that, he only does a certain amount of gigs every month because he's got to leave himself in demand. Same goes for the fishing.
I was going to say, this is an interesting tie-in to the fishing story.
Because with the fishing, you're like, hey, if you go to this pond and all you do is catch fish left and right, you're like, oh, okay, yeah, I fished before and it was pretty easy.
Pretty boring now.
It's like playing Madden on easy mode all the time. Yeah, you whoop up on the other team 73-0, but how fun is that?
Would it be the same for golf? If every time you hit it straight, every time you hit it perfect, would it get boring?
No, golf would never be boring because you can't replicate. There's like the slightest.
I guess if you were
change will change the direction of the ball, the elements.
But
the wind.
It doesn't matter. But every time you hit it perfect, and you only could play one golf course, it would get boring to me.
Oh yeah,
but that's not the case with golf. But yes, you're right. Fishing stock pond sucks. But I am doing some fishing this weekend and some camping. What are you doing this weekend?
Don't know. I think garage sale maybe.
Here we go. Yeah, I knew it was coming back. It had to. I haven't heard you say garage sale in a year.
They have worked me down. I'm saying, listen, we're not doing a garage sale until you guys clean up your playroom and get rid of half the toys in there.
Wait, your kids, your 4 and 7-year-old want to do a garage sale?
No, I'm my wife. But now it's reached.
She has a playroom.
It's reached this point now where I just want to get rid of the stuff, and we'll deal with the playroom later. So I think we're going to do garage sale. I think we're going to do
really exciting
on Saturday. I'm sure there's going to be some yard work that is done over the weekend. A lot of pool time since the temperatures are going to be up, I would imagine. We have plans to do some pool time this afternoon.
You ever make your kids snow cones? That was my favorite thing to do when it was pool time.
No,
snow cones and pool time.
The pool's still cool enough where they're freezing when they get out. They want hot chocolate.
It's going to be 90s this weekend.
It's crazy. They want hot chocolate in 90-degree weather because the pool cools them down so much.
Get your suntan and your hot chocolate out. You need suntan lotion or not lotion. What is it? Sunscreen, sorry. Sunscreen and hot chocolate.
You could call it lotion. Is it not called
suntan lotion? I think is to like a bronzer, like to get tan. Sunscreen is the opposite.
Oh, okay.
I don't know. Anyways, don't forget it's tomorrow starts the $1,000 playlist. Details at kzoz.com. Brought to you by Perry Ford Lincoln. We'll have more in just a minute.
Whoa! Jeff and Jeremy in the morning.
So you think there's going to be a lot of getting it on this summer, huh?
There's a term that's been coined called the hot vax summer.
That definitely sounds sexual. The hot vax. Hey, baby, you ready to get in on the hot? You want to do the hot vax tonight? That's why. Never mind.
Now I know
I can't say it.
The reasoning behind the intrusion question of, have you got your vaccination yet? Have you got your vaccination yet? Because people
vaccination orgies?
They want to lay you down.
These what they want to do. Vax parties. Remember they used to have key parties? Everybody put their keys in a
So should I take
dish?
it as a compliment if somebody comes up to me and says, Hey, you got a vaccine? I'm like, why? You want to do me? That's what my response.
I wonder if you want to come to my vax party.
What my response is going to be. Why? You want to have sex with me or something? Because
wait, do they really think people are going to be having more promiscuous sex because of with people that are vaccinated?
Yeah, they say that some signs point to it.
Because people are hard up because they had a year where they had to be taking care of business by themselves.
Yeah, and the
Good news if you're single.
so there's a term that was coined called hot girl summer, and that
Or
is
unfaithful.
when a girl got herself looking good, then she would go out and have herself the summer of her life, where she got to date lots of dudes, and date is code word for something else. Party, have a good time, all that stuff. Now people are feeling this sense of confidence that once they get the vaccination, they can go out and they can meet people, like-minded people that also have the vaccination, so they're safe. And then they'll be like, hey, you vaxxed? Hey, I'm vaxxed too. Well, hell, you're vaxxed. I'm vaxxed. Let's go. Let's do this. Let's go somewhere else. This might be the summer of free love, is what we're saying. And is this necessarily a good thing?
No, it's a great thing. I mean,
don't know.
It's okay. This is life. This is how we rebound. This is how we get back to normal. All right? We screw it out of. We just screw it
The
out.
TV station's not talking about this in the rebound.
We bound it out, baby. No, this is not something you're going to get on the 6 o'clock news. That's for sure. Lester's not going to probably be talking about this survey. But that's why you come here. Jeff and Jeremy in the morning, keeping it real.
Yeah. So just protect yourself, I mean, everybody's focused on the mask. Let's not focus on what we focused for the
People
last
will make the right decision, Jeff.
60 years. No, they say poor decisions is all about a hot vax summer. So, great.
Wake up. Jeff and Jeremy in the morning.
All right, so did you hear that Burning Man was canceled yesterday?
How can you cancel something that was against the man? Okay? Like, this was the original, like, we're just going to show up in the desert and do whatever the hell we want to do. Then all of a sudden there's like promoters and people get the rights to it. And then they're charging like $1,000 to be there for 4 days. And you're like, how is this against capitalism? Like, that's what Burning Man was. It was supposed to be a stand against capitalism. We're going to go to the desert. We're going to do what we want to do, and nobody can have any say about it. Now it is being canceled because of
Pandemic.
a pandemic.
It was canceled
A
last
flu.
year. They're canceling it again this year. I don't know. This is Burning Man music. I've never understood this. Now, I've talked to some people that go to Burning Man. It looks disgusting. Everybody's so dirty because it's just in the desert where the wind is blowing and it's dusty.
I don't think as much anymore.
And they
as
just
when
do
it was
crazy
OG.
drugs.
Shouldn't the people that started Burning Man, if they're still alive, which there's a good chance they're not because of the amount of drugs that are in your system when you're at a Burning Man and leading up to getting your body ready for Burning Man. But if they are still alive, how come they're not doing some kind of alternative Burning Man? Like why aren't they doing another?
Didn't they do one at Lake Nacimiento and somebody died?
Like San Antonio?
Or Lake San Antonio? Sorry.
I guess
somebody ended up dying.
That's got promoters.
So maybe that's why they don't do it
That's got
anymore.
a high price tag. I'm talking about the OG, okay, where you just show up in a desert with your tent and your water supply and you stay there for days and it doesn't cost you bupkis. That's what real Burning Man is.
Do you think people that go to Burning Man, like their favorite movie is Mad Max Beyond Thunderdome?
OG Burning
right?
Man.
I mean,
yes.
seriously, it's the same thing, right?
Not now. Now it is trust fund babies. It is only for trust fund babies.
I'm looking at this right now. They're out in this desert. And I know you have to pay to get in. There's reservations. You have to buy tickets or whatever.
It's a desert. How do you pay to get into a desert?
They lock it down. They have fencing. And then you listen to stuff like this. And now I'm looking at this band that's sitting up on this stage, and it looks like Mad Max Beyond Thunderdome. And the wind is blowing and dust is blowing everywhere. And there's cops actually at this thing watching them in the background. So there are some sort of police presence there because it was driving with its
It
lights
goes
on.
against everything that Burning Man was about. Like, I remember when I first heard about Burning Man, like a friend told me about
Yeah,
it.
everybody was just supposed to show up,
And
right?
they're like, yeah, we'll just go. And I'm like,
Yeah, you didn't pay a man,
Is there
you didn't-
anything there?
yeah.
They're like, no, there's nothing there. I was like, where do people go to the bathroom? And then that's when I was out. But then, they
on the
would
ground.
they would show up and they would do their thing and then they would leave. And that at least had some, while not much appeal to me, I could see the logic for romanticizing it.
Right.
You know, because that's kind of cool. You know, everybody shows up, they party, they do whatever they want to do, and they don't have anybody telling them what to do. Now Burning Man is about saying, sorry, we can't do it this year because we can't properly social distance because the man told you what to do. Don't call this Burning Man. Call it a festival of some other sorts, but don't call it Burning Man because that is not what Burning Man was about when it was started. Not that I'm a purist or not. I'm just saying that you hijacked somebody else's work, got the rights to it, made it your own, and made it profitable against everything that thing stood for from the beginning.
How many drugs do you think you have to do to enjoy something like this in the middle of the desert and the heat? You know, they do it in late August, so it's got to be 120 during the day.
Cools down at night, though.
It does, but not much.
It's a desert.
Probably maybe 90.
It's a dry heat, Jeremy.
My parents live in the desert. I know. It's a weird deal. Anyways, it's been canceled.
Good. I hope now that it's gone.
I should say it's rescheduled. It's really not canceled. They're going to do it next year. It'll be next year in 2022.
I hope that it goes away.
Isn't it outside of Reno or something?
Yeah, just for the sheer greed of the people that got the rights to it. Like, it needs to go away. You know, they are horrible people for taking somebody else's idea. And they didn't even just improve it and make it their own, Jeremy. They just hijacked it and then made lots of money off of it. Like, I don't know the guy that started Burning Man or the girl that started.
I have the CEO here talking
That's
about
not the guy that started it.
No. You don't think so?
There was no CEO title.
That's
to
the
a guy
opposite of what Burning Man was, right?
To take the first couch out into the desert.
You're right. Well, maybe, yeah. Okay, well, here's the CEO.
We've made a difficult decision
A woman.
based on the best information available to us. We've decided to focus our energy on building 2022. It's too important to do half-assed, so we're doubling down on next year. We recognize your need to be in community, so we suggest that you create community. Take this moment, gather together. Ooh. This is the time.
The way she uses the word community makes me feel like I'm in a
how
cult.
about we go to the place where you normally have it and gather together there and not pay $1,000 to do it over the course of a weekend? Why don't they do that? Why don't the true burners, if you're listening right now, the true burners show up anyways and do your damn thing? Do it.
So we're doubling down on next year. We recognize your need to be in community. So we suggest that you create community. Take this moment, gather together. This is the time.
I've never been in a cult or been to but this sounds like a pyramid scheme. I mean, it's the same thing. Yeah, it's total, right? Community.
Well, Rose McGowan thinks you're in a cult because you're a Republican. She also thinks Democrats are in a cult too.
I'm not a Republican.
And I kind of agree.
You
with
may
her.
think I am, but I'm not. I don't have a party affiliation.
That's good.
I can't be labeled by other people and their ideologies. Because I'm free, man.
You are starting to sound like you're in a cult.
This music gets you after a while. I like it. I really do like the music. Not so much the dust and everything else. Sorry, Burning Man kids. Maybe somebody can explain it to us.
I love how the CEO sounds like she's Nancy. Do you think the person that started Burning Man ever envisioned it being ran by a person that when she speaks, she sounds like Nancy Pelosi as the CEO?
We've made a difficult decision based on...
Come on.
805-543-3693.
the best information available to us. We've decided to focus...
And yeah, I mean, it's so anti-Burning Man. CEO, right? I would think they would burn CEOs at the stake back in the day.
our energy on building 2022.
It might be Burning Woman.